Sirish, where are we right now?
We are at the Chennai track, the Madras International Circuit, at the Polo Cup races.
Aren't you a little too old to be doing these races?
Probably, but you're never too old to do something that you love.
When was your last race then?
4 years ago, just before COVID, in the Polo Cup 2020, Feb or March.
Nice. So what's the plan now?
Oh, I hope I'm not dead last. That's it.
Wait, I just have one more question. Do you still fit in that suit?
So right, in all seriousness, we're not here to teach the young drivers how to drive. They're quicker, their reaction times are better, and they're blessed with not having to deal with lower back aches either. What we are here to do is tell you about the Polo Cup. Now, this is a series that has been around for a while, but now in its latest avatar, it's now run by Buzzing Hornets. They've got the same cars that Volkswagen Motorsport used to run, built to the very same standards. Something like this appeals to gentlemen drivers. Now, there are track days where people take their sports cars and go out and track, but this is one step up on it. You have data. You have a data engineer who sits with you and talks to you on how to improve your driving. There are other guys who tell you about lines, how to eke out that last tenth, that last second out of the cars. I'm going to show you around the pit, show you the car, talk to you about a race weekend. I hope I won't come last. Coming on the podium, I think, is out of the question. The standards have really moved on. But I'm here to have a lot of fun, and hopefully you might be inspired to also get yourself into one of these race cars.
The Polo Cup came to India to coincide with the launch of the Polo Road Cup. First with the diesel engine, then the TFSI petrol, and over the years evolved into the Vento Cup, Emio Cup, and back to the Polo Cup in 2020. Buzzing Hornets have now taken over the Polo Cup cars and are running the series to nearly the same factory specifications.
Under the hood, the GTI engine makes 205 horsepower. It's front-wheel drive, 320 Newton meters of torque. It's got a full roll cage inside. It's got a single seat, a proper racing seat with a proper harness. You obviously have to wear your full racing overalls with the inners, a harness device, a helmet, the tires. Now these are MRF race rubber. On a weekend, we get 6 new tires, so 3 for each side, 3 for left, 3 for right, and 2 old tires. So the entire weekend has to be run using only those tires. Also, another cool part of the Polo Cup, I'll show you out here, is this huge spoiler. Now, I don't know how much of downforce it actually generates, but these cars are fast. In practice yesterday, the fastest guy was doing a 155, I was doing a 158. I still need to make up 3 seconds. So these cars are quick, and this is probably adding to aero, but it also looks really cool, looks like a proper race car. And one last thing, come over here. So that over there is the windshield washer fluid. Now in a stock road car, it is mounted in the front, but that obstructs the air coming into the brakes. These have got proper race discs and pads, so it needs a lot of cooling. And that's why cost-effective solution, the windshield washer fluid is out there. You can also see the full roll cage. So that has been done for safety. The entire interior has been stripped down. It has been welded and braced. And of course, let me show you the cockpit. Not that easy to get into a race car with all the roll caging and the braces. Now this is the Motec control unit. Out here, the blue button, that is to start. So switch on the ignition, then ignition switch on, start, hazard lights. Page up, page down is for the different displays on the Motec dash out here. It also has launch control. So I hit the launch control button, and then I just have to dump the clutch. I don't have to ease off on the clutch. As you can see, there's no sequential lever, but it's got paddle shifters. So it's got an actuator for the sequential gearbox. This has a proper sequential gearbox. That's why the shifts are really good. You have this pit lane speed limiter. Push to pass is not yet active. You can put the gearbox in auto mode, so newcomers, when they start with the practice, they can just put it into auto mode and learn the lines around the track. You also have your blower out here. This is only to be used in an emergency. This activates the fire extinguisher, which is plumbed into the system. So all these nozzles that you see here, that's for the fire extinguisher. So hit that and the fire extinguisher comes on. Now, this is my race dash. I've got the different pages on this. So obviously I can see the revs. I got the shift lights out there. Shows the handbrake is up now, lap numbers, the lap times. So all of this comes on the race dash.
I'm now firmly in gentleman driver category, and it is unrealistic to expect to be fighting for podiums with the young guns. But still, I am horrified to find myself near the bottom of the timesheets in Friday practice. I pry myself out of the massage chair and do what the kids do. Get my data from the race engineers and sit with former Polo Cup champion Saurav Bandyopadhyay to analyze where I am losing time. Then I sit with the fastest driver on the grid, Aditya Patnaik, to refine my lines. Oh, the horror of having to relearn lines from a kid old enough to be my kid. But it helps. Next day my times drop from late 159s to 155s. Frustratingly, Aditya's times have dropped from 155s to 153s. But still, I am confident going into qualifying. I mess up qualifying to go 2 seconds slower than my practice times and wind up on the last row, second from last, along with receiving a fine for missing the checker flag and doing an extra lap. I've now got a lot to do in the races if I'm not to finish absolutely last.
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
After the shenanigans of the opening lap, where I make up a place at the start and then gain 2 more in C3, the race is then a lonely one and I finish in 8th place. In the pits, there's action as the guy of car number 7 piles into the guy who rammed into him at C3.
So first race actually went off surprisingly well. At the start, I think I gained some 3 places or 4 places. And then towards middle of the lap, I lost 1 place. But I started second last, and when I finished, there were 3 guys behind me. So overall, not a bad race. It was just maintaining position. Actually, I could have made 1 position, but the guy in front was trying to gain a position, making a few mistakes, and I was repeating and copying, xeroxing his damn mistakes. Next, I should remember to do my own race, not look so much what's happening, and try to be a little aggressive and make a overtake. Made some moves on the straight, but need to make some overtakes in the race, man.
Data is a very important part of the Polo Cup. Analyzing it shows you where you are making mistakes, what you need to improve upon, and a big benefit is that you can compare your data with the faster drivers and see immediate areas of improvement. Former Polo Cup champion Saurav runs me through the data and guides me on how to improve on lap times. His big pointer is that I'm just being too aggressive on the car.
Because yesterday evening when we sat down with data, I could clearly see all the changes that we were working on Friday. He had implemented it yesterday and he was significantly quicker because of that. So yeah, he's able to implement it spot on. I like his attention to detail, you know, small things, where to apex, should I change my angle here? And I've been giving very detailed feedback So for him to just come in, pick it up and implement it next session, that takes quite a lot. So that's been impressive, and that's why we made progress.
So the drivers and the crew at the Polo Cup, we just finished day one, finished one race. Tomorrow we have 3 more races to go. Wish us luck. It's Sunday, the cars are all prepped. We're just finally checking the tire pressures, going to suit up, half an hour to go for the races. 3 races today, so it's going to be a long Sunday. Hopefully it won't be Chennai, mad, humid, hot. The weather will be okay. Cars are looking good. Time to go.
The race weekend starts with a compulsory driver briefing where we are given the all-important safety do's and don'ts.
So that's the driver briefing. Rayo and Saurav, they give us a briefing just before every race, what to do, what not to do, run through the mistakes of the earlier race, and also they tell us to be safe, careful, and of course have fun. So let me show you around the Polo Cup pit setup. So these are our pits. There are, I think, 11 cars racing, but they have 20 cars, so they have space for more drivers. Careful of the Polo's rear wing, those are massive. So all the cars are here, and behind, that's where we have the driver room. So if you come with me, so this is the driver rest area where we have all our briefings. That's Saurav, who's going to show me how to analyze data, and he's probably showing the others. There's a massage seat there, and the guy on the massage seat, should actually check him out. He's the guy on pole. So he's the guy everybody has got their eyes on, taking a nice break there. So it's a really nice setup. We got food, tea, coffee, all of that out there. On the other side, that's where we have the engineering setup. So here's where the mechanics sit. So these are the mechs. John, say hi. Hi. Race fuel. All the cars use race fuel. Out here we have the parts. Everything can be done here. Tires, fuel, all of that out here. So this is what the setup looks like. Lunch is over. Everybody's getting back onto the track. Races are going to start.
We'll see a lot more younger drivers coming, and that's my objective. This is world class that we want to give, and we are aspiring to make the drivers really happy with what they see, what they drive, and what the experience they feel.
That's how the serious guys get ready for the race. I just had a cup of coffee.
With Sirish coming back onto track after at least 4 or 5 years, it was bound to be a little tricky for him. It's not something that you can just come in and adapt like that. But I'd say Sirish has done quite well. End of the day, he's a very good driver. What has gone a little bit against him is probably that he's been having too much of fun going sideways. And going sideways over here is completely against the principles of going quick. So that is something that he probably needed to adapt to.
And so it's the last race of the round 1, 4th race actually of this weekend. I'm actually not too tired, but they say that because of the heat and because of all the exhaustion and the exertion over the past 3 days, reflexes will be a little slower. Plus, we had only 6 new tires, so now the tires are done for, so there's going to be a lot of understeer. The track is also very hot. So just keep it nice and clean. I'm starting 6th, so first race I finished 8th, second race 8th, third race 6th, so I've moved up, my pace has improved. So hopefully I should now be able to maintain my 6th place. Let's see how it goes. Getting better.
The city is up in the madness. The people is giving the damage. They turn into animal savage. So rhinos and hippos and mammoths. The hero was coming, I'm locked in. You know that I'm winning the top 10.
For the last race, I make a decent start to hold on to position, but still lacking in aggression, I give up a place into C1. Into C2, I stick with the pack and show my nose into C3, but that's just me being aggressive. No way to overtake really. I close up going into C4, and this is the fast left, exiting the long D. I carry more speed and make a legit overtake, and then hold on to the position to finish the last race in 5th place.
And that's it for our race weekend. It has been a weekend of progression for me. From second from the bottom in qualifying to 8th in the first race, 8th in the second race, 6th in the third race, and finally 5th in the last race. I have constantly improved, learned to finesse my lines, my technique, hone my racecraft, account for tire, deg, account for temperatures, and really I've had a great time and I've learned so much. It's just cleaned up my driving so much, which I'm sure will make me a better, safer driver on the road. But my progression isn't really the point of this video. I'll get to that once I get out of this. I need some water, man. So what's the point of this whole exercise? Well, first is, if you are a budding race car driver, this is a great place to hone your racecraft. All the cars are built to the same level, so it's your driving that will make the difference. Also, there's a great team running it, so you learn a lot from skilled drivers, former national champions, and you learn a lot about data, analyzing your data and trying to make that use of that to become a better, faster driver. The second is, if you are just an enthusiast like I am, this is the ultimate expression of the thrill of driving. The amount of fun that you have in a race car on the track, racing with a couple of other enthusiasts is unreal. Of course, a lot of us do track days, but this is a great car to go and do a race weekend with. Nothing happens to them unless you go and smash it into something else. It's reliable, it is safe, so you don't have to wreck your road car on the track. Whereas here, you can just drive to your absolute limit, know where your limits are, know how to go over that limit, refine your driving, and just have a load of fun. And that is the beauty of a racing series like the Polo Cup. For gentlemen drivers, it's a great place to really let loose, have fun, and become better drivers.